Welcome back to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning has been on summer reading. Summer reading makes a huge difference when kids go back to school in the fall, and that's where the Super Reader program comes in. My next guest is Kelly Hughbanks, who's the coordinator of youth services for the Milwaukee Public Library. Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
And in the coming weeks, children across our community, they're going to start their summer breaks. And what happens to everything that they've learned during the school year?
Well, if they don't keep up their reading over the summer, they can actually lose their skills, and it can add up to 2 or 3 months of loss. So imagine a child back in February and everything they've learned since February. They can just lose that if they don't read over the summer.
Wow.
So it's quite amazing. And if they do that every single summer, it can really add up. So compared to a child who does read over the summer, they can be behind like 2 to 3 years by middle school. So it's just so important that they keep reading at least 15 minutes a day. Our program is designed to keep them reading on a daily habit, just to keep those skills up or to even improve them.
And that's not asking a lot, 15 minutes, and if you get a couple of really good books, the kids will want to continue reading.
Exactly.
So that's the idea, right?
Right. We want to get them in that pleasure reading where they're reading for fun.
Yeah. So all young people experience learning losses when they don't engage in educational activities during the summer break, as you just said, and parents are consistently citing summer as the most difficult time to ensure that their children have productive things to do. So on top of reading, there are some other things they can do at home, maybe some educational programs on the iPad, things of that nature, right?
Yes, they could. I mean, we really encourage them just to keep reading. It could be books, magazines, comics. It's for fun, and so any reading counts. So if they are reading on their iPod, that counts too. But we just want them to have that daily habit of reading 15 minutes. And we want them to be doing things as well, too, so like coming into the library, participating in our events and activities.
Yeah, and we'll talk about some of those activities that you have lined up for kids. You're actually all planned and ready to go. It's on the calendar. And the thing that's really special, I believe, is that if there's a household that does not have access to all the high-tech things such as iPads and computers and things of that nature, you do have computers that are set up and ready to be used at the library.
Right, we do. All you have to have is your library card, and you can log on and use those. Your library card really gives you access to many, many resources at the library and at home, because we have so many online resources now. We have ebooks. You can download music. You can even download movies now with your library card. Right, so you can use your library 24/7 with that library card. It's
Things have changed, I tell you, from the Dewey Decimal. Is that the right, was it Dewey Decimal?
Yes, it still is there. You don't have the card catalog anymore. You have it all on computer.
Giving away my age, aren't I? So the Milwaukee Public Library, you have your Super Reader program. Tell us how that's set up.
Well, all the kids in the city of Milwaukee have received folders through their school. We just sent those out.
Okay.
So once they have that reading folder, they can start reading. And we did that on purpose so we can have the teachers and the people in their school who they know very well encouraging them to keep on reading over the summer. And if they lose their folder or they don't get one for whatever reason, just stop in the library, pick up their folder. But there's little clocks in the folder that they can keep track of when they're reading, and then they can just bring that back to any Milwaukee Public Library to show the librarian, hey, look, I've read this much. And we have different levels that they can get different coupons and earn prizes as they go on to the finish, where they earn a free book for their home library.
So there are incentives for them to kind of get involved, and not only are they staying ahead of that summer slide, but they're also walking away with some things they can have some fun with.
Some things they can be proud of too, because just for signing up you get a yard sign where you can display, hey, I am a super reader.
I like it. And this whole program is free, and you don't necessarily need a library card to participate.
That is true. You do not need a library card, but of course we can help you get one.
Okay, yeah, and it's real simple to sign up for a library card. What's the procedures?
Right, for little kids, they're going to need to be able to write their first name and their last name, and they need their mom or dad's signature. And then for teenagers and adults, they can just show some ID and they can get a library card.
Okay, simple as that. Now, you do have a special teen program that's set up, and it's entitled Put Your Face in a Book.
Right. A little
like
play
that.
on social media.
Yeah.
Yes, and this was designed by our Teen Advisory Board for teens. So it's for teens, designed by teens, and we know that they're super busy. So they didn't want to be coming into the library and have to log their reading. They wanted to do it online. So you can log your reading online, and really you only have to come in to pick up your prizes, because they also can earn a free book. And then the grand prize drawing is a chance to earn a Kindle Fire, where they can even do more reading.
Yes, and that's where technology has taken us these days, where, I used to take pride in lining up all the books on the bookshelves, but that just really isn't the case anymore. People are downloading books, and then when they're done, they don't have any space that's taken outside of their computer.
Right, but
Yeah.
isn't it fabulous that you can have in your purse that skinny little thing with 10 books loaded on it?
Yes, I love that. And the thing is, there are a lot of kids who are actually enrolled in daycare or childcare over the summer. So you've got a special outreach program that's designed just for those kids, right?
Right, because we know not every child is going to be able to come into the library, so we take the program to them. And we work with them over the summer on developing that daily reading habit. And in some camps where people wouldn't think that you have reading, like some sports camps we've gone to, and even the teachers are like, oh, well, I'm a sports camp. And it's like, no, that's the perfect connection. We know these kids are interested in basketball or whatever sport it is. We've got books on basketball. We've got books on how to play. We've got books on special, the players, the famous players. We've got all kinds of books that will fascinate the kids that are interested in basketball.
And that's the exciting thing about the library overall, whether you're a kid or an adult. I mean, really, there is literally a book about everything at the library. If there's somebody in particular you want to read about their life story, it's there.
Exactly.
And if you don't have it, then you'll order it, right?
Exactly. We will get it for you.
That is pretty special. And some children make progress not only because they read more, but because they do more. So that's one of the reasons the library's summer reading program includes hundreds of free in-library events and activities as well. Tell us about a few of those.
Right. Well, we know that the more you know, the better reader you are, because you have that background knowledge. So we want to expose kids to a variety of events and opportunities. So we bring in magicians, musicians, we have storytellers, we have all like science programs, we have all these variety of programs. And then when they read about it later on and they know that the gas bubbling up over the beaker, they're gonna go, oh yeah, I know what a beaker is,
Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. And I mentioned earlier, you do have a calendar of events that parents can look for so they can make plans to have the kids involved during the summer.
Right, and it's online, or you can stop in and pick up the paper copy.
Okay, and your website address is?
mpl.org.
mpl.org, real easy to remember. And the different resources that you offer to kids and families we mentioned some of those being the computer. So not only can the kids go on and play different games and things of that nature, but parents can go in and do a resume if they want to, right?
Right,
Yeah.
we have all kinds of online resources, but I think the best resource we have is our librarians. And I think a lot of people forget, like, oh, if I'm stumped on something, I can ask a librarian. Even if you have like a reluctant reader and you're like, how can I get my child to read this summer? Ask the librarian and they'll be able to help you.
Now that's something that has not changed about the library. There's always the librarian who seems to know everything there is to know. So that is a good thing for sure. We'll reiterate, the summer reader program's free, and kids really don't need their library card to sign up. So with all that we've talked about today, what are some other things that you might want the people at home to know about when it comes to the Milwaukee Public Library?
Well, as far as the summer reading program, I want them to know like some of the things they can earn are coupons for things to do around town. And that goes again with that background knowledge. And so we know a lot of the kids that we serve, their families don't have the ability to send them off to specialty camps or things like that. So you can earn these coupons, and we've partnered with a dozen organizations, so then they can get free admission to the museums, the Brewers games, water parks, so they're able to be doing a lot of things this summer in addition to reading.
Yeah, and the other spectacular thing is that there are libraries in every neighborhood where kids don't have to necessarily get a ride there.
Exactly.
It's usually in walking distance
Right.
and right there for their use all year long. That's what it's all about. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to share with us before we wrap up?
Make sure you have that daily reading habit and encourage your children to read with them or have them read to you, but just do it every day.
That's right. At least 15 minutes a day. That is all you're asking. Thank you so much for stopping by. Kelly Hughbanks is the coordinator of youth services at the Milwaukee Public Library. The Milwaukee Public Library's Super Reader program is going on now through the end of August. And for more information, you can log on to mpl.org. That is going to do it for today's show. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope you join us again next week as we take another look at our issues in Milwaukee. Have yourself a great day.